Okay, so today we're going to be answering the question of what do you do when you match with a girl online or on a dating app and you're sending her questions and asking her stuff about herself and she's responding back with sentences, but she's not asking you any questions back about yourself. What does this mean? Does this mean she doesn't have any interest at all, or could something else be going on? We're going to talk about that today. Real quick, guys, I have revamped my website, so you can go to introvertdatingsuccess.com right now. Click on the products tab. You'll be able to check out my ebooks, audiobooks, video training courses, as well as my freebies. And you can click on the coaching tab to book a one-on-one phone call with yours truly. Also, if you find value in what you're hearing today, you can leave a donation at the website as well to show your support. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this guy's questions. I think it's something that a lot of guys go through when they're online dating, and they might not know what's actually going on in the girl's side of things, all right? So it goes like this. He says, I'm 36, and I just recently got into the online dating world. I've matched with several women, nothing that has gone past a first date, but overall positive experiences. By the way, guys, if you guys need any kind of help at all with figuring out what to do, to get women on dates, and then also what to do once you've gotten them on dates and how to keep them interested beyond that, I have two programs. I got Smart Digital Dating, which teaches you how to actually match up with women. And then I have my Introvert Dating Success Academy, which is a full-on course that takes you through the attraction process. And it teaches you things like what to do on that first date to keep her interested to where she'll want a second date. All right, that's all at the website. But anyway, so he says, I recently matched with someone who I messaged, but didn't get any response back for several days. Finally, she did send a reply, and we've now sent several messages. Just the basic get to know someone talks, but she's not asking any questions, just answers what I ask. I understand being short when you're not into the conversation, but this is entry-level talks. If she isn't into me, then why did she match or even reply to my message? But if she is interested, why doesn't she seem to want to get to know me or at least ask something? Is this common? Okay, so I think I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again for those of you that have not seen my video about when I posed as a woman on online dating. Women's experiences in the online dating world is a lot different from guys, okay? If a woman is highly interested in you, from the jump, like as soon as you send her that first message, she sees your profile and she's automatically interested, then yes, she is going to be sending you messages back, and she's going to be asking you questions because your profile just enthralled her so much that she wants to get to know you more, okay? And again, I have a whole program that's designed to teach you how to set up your profile. That way women will actually see stuff on there that's going to make them want to ask questions about you. But that said, that's if you get like the very, very highly interested from that first message. But what about all the other times when that doesn't happen? What could actually be going on? Well, as I mentioned before, women get a very high number of matches, more than guys will ever possibly get, okay? So you got to think about this from the woman's perspective. Let's say average looking to very, very pretty looking woman goes on a dating app. Even the most average of average women could start out by getting like 100 messages in a week, okay? And that's not including matches, because there are people that she will match with but won't actually message her because they're waiting for her to message them first. But just the ones that message her, it'd be 100 people, okay? Now, most of those messages are going to suck, but there's 100 guys that have written this woman. So you got to think about this from a woman's perspective. Does she have time to go through 100 different profiles and look at 100 different pictures and 100 different various bios and notes about a person to then conjure up 100 different questions to ask 100 different guys? Could you see that being a time-consuming exercise for a woman? So if that's the thing that's happening, then you got to understand, when you come to her and ask her questions, on her side of things, she's thinking, he's asking me questions, and that means he wants to engage. And she may stop by her profile and see a couple of pictures and say, okay, this guy doesn't look creepy. I want to now connect with him. So I'll go ahead and connect with him. So when he asks me a question, I'll respond. So in her head, she's thinking that just by answering your question, she's doing enough. She's giving a response back. And for women, for them, when they respond back to you, that's their way of saying, I'm cool with interacting with you. Because you got to think about, if a woman's getting hit up by 100 different dudes, she's not writing back 100 different dudes, because she's not going to find all of them interesting enough or good looking enough to write back. So if she's writing you back in any capacity, that means that you have piqued her interest on some level. It might not be like the highest of levels, but it's enough to where she's willing to engage in the conversation. Now, this is not talking about people that will just use you for like attention grabbing or just want to have some validation. Yes, there are women on these dating apps that will do that. But for the most part, most women are on dating apps to try to actually find a date, to actually get off the app and go out. And to that end, I say that this is very important because you need to get something. And it's that women are on these apps to date. So beyond just the conversation you're having on the app, if she's interacting with you and she's responding back on a consistent basis, and she's responding back in a way that's like giving you some details about her life, then what that means is that more likely than not, she'd be cool with going with you on an actual in-person date. And this goes back to the thing of where you have to actually ask women on dates on these platforms. I've done videos about that. I got my smart digital dating program that walks you through how to actually ask out women and when's the right timing for that. But the point is this: if you are consistently talking with a woman back and forth, and it seems like she's doing it in a timely manner, and she's like seeming to be engaged when you are asking her questions, just because she's not asking you questions back, it doesn't necessarily mean that she's not interested. You're asking her questions, but she has like 100 other guys that are most likely asking her questions. She's not going to have time to ask questions back to all these men. That does not mean, however, that she would not go out with you if you asked her. So if she's regularly engaging, that should be a hint to you that she'd be more apt to want to actually go on a one-on-one date with you. And then when she's in front of your face, she can now ask you questions about yourself, because it's not you versus 100 other guys on an app. It's now you versus nobody else, one-on-one in person with her, where she can get deeper answers from you. Because here's the thing: women don't want to read long, outstanding paragraphs on a dating app. Now, she might ask you a question in person and you can riff for about 30 seconds to a minute, and she'll sit there and listen with open ears. But that does not translate well onto a dating app where she has to just read a long list of words that don't really have any emotion, don't have any feel to them, and she's not going to connect with that way. Women are going to connect with you better if they're able to ask you questions in person and then hear your voice when you say it, and your vocal inflections, see your tone, and hear your humor and hear your voice and what your tone of your voice sounds like. So don't think just because they're not asking you questions doesn't mean that they wouldn't be interested in asking you questions on a one-on-one date scenario, okay? Now, with that said, you have to test that out, because you do want to at some point ask for a date. And this is where a lot of guys get tripped up, because they want to keep talking and talking and talking. And they'll do things like this where it's like, well, she hasn't asked me a question yet, so I don't know if I should ask her out. Man, I've literally had it where I sent a woman a first message complimenting her on something, and the next message is like, hey, you know what? We could be talking on the app all day, but I think it'd be better for us to talk in person. What do you think about that? And I actually end up getting the date, okay? And there's a method to the madness of how I actually ask for dates on these apps, which I go into extensively in my smart digital dating program. But needless to say, you don't have to spend weeks on end talking to a girl to get her on a date, okay? And it's gonna be better because if you're able to get her on a date in a short amount of time, A, she'll be happy that she's not BSing with you for 2 or 3 weeks, and B, you'll be able to get her to want to ask you questions a lot sooner and be able to answer those questions in person, and hopefully do some other stuff with her in person as a result. So hopefully this helps you out, guys. And like I said, I got a lot of great material at my newly relaunched site, introvertdatingsuccess.com. Click on the products tab, check out the ebooks, check out the audiobooks, check out my great video training courses that are designed to take you from an anxious dater to a guy that is confident, that is bold, and that can be his introverted self, still get dates, and still get his alone time. Check all that out at the website. If you found the info in this episode to be helpful, please show your support by clicking on the tip jar tab, the link of which can be found at the website and in the description below. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment on this episode, and catch new episodes right here on YouTube or wherever podcasts can be found. In the meantime, be sure to check out these other episodes so you too can learn to date as your introverted self while still getting your precious alone time. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.